So what we have here is the autopsy bucket related to the famous Mina Chapman murder case. This took place in 1831. Mina was actually let out of prison in Philadelphia the day that he arrived on the doorstep of the Chapman family. He claimed to have very prestigious connections. His father was the governor of California. He had lost money. He had $20,000 worth of diamonds stolen from him, and could he just find a place to rest until, his money was sent to him. And unfortunately, the Chapmans took him in. They originally offered him the beggar's room, but then actually set him up in a proper bedroom. And he just ingratiated himself in the Chapman family. He told them stories about his past and all of those big connections that he had to high society. And pretty soon, Lucretia and Mina started to spend a little too much alone time together. They were sitting in rooms with the door closed, which everybody in the household noticed. And even Dr. Chapman realized that Lucretia was being much meaner to him ever since Mina showed up. And then a few months later, Dr. Chapman did not feel well. His wife prepared him some chicken soup, which he ate. She prepared it, she seasoned it, she brought it up to the room, and very shortly thereafter, he died a very agonizing death. He told his doctor that it felt like his stomach was full of fire. And 12 days later, who gets married but Lucretia and Mina? So clearly Mina had a plan in mind. He very much wooed Lucretia because immediately after them getting married, Mina has to go away on business. He leaves Lucretia alone on their honeymoon. He goes to Baltimore, he goes to Washington, D.C. He's writing letters about how much he loves her, she's missing him. And of course, back home in Bucks County, everyone is aware that something suspicious has happened. And actually, Mina causes quite a stir on his travels where he is stealing money from people, he's swindling businessmen, and the police do come and investigate him. And of course, everyone realizes that Dr. Chapman was ill, he died, and then they got married. Mina was even selling his belongings, including his books and his silver. The body of Dr. Chapman is actually exhumed, an autopsy is performed. And at this time, testing was very limited, and the doctor, even on the stand, admits that he does not really know how to test for any poison, but it is eventually uncovered that he did actually die of arsenic poisoning and not cholera, as the doctors had originally diagnosed him. Lucretia actually goes on the run for a little while. She's apprehended in Erie County, Pennsylvania, brought back to Bucks County. Mina's arrested, he's brought to Bucks County, and a trial goes underway. They were tried separately. Mina is eventually found guilty, but Lucretia is let free, even though Mina accuses her of being the mastermind of the entire plan. But newspaper accounts from the time period actually say that everyone was very reluctant to have a member of the fair sex executed. That was not really common during this time period in the 1830s in the United States. So Lucretia actually is let free. Mina is imprisoned for a number of months in Bucks County. He actually escapes at one point. He makes it to a local general store where he's apprehended when he's attempting to buy shoes. Fortunately, he couldn't just walk barefoot. He goes and gets shoes and he's captured and brought back to prison. He has a couple suicide attempts where he actually eats broken glass to commit suicide. None of these are successful, and he is ultimately hanged on the banks of the Neshaminy Creek by the almshouse in Bucks County. 10,000 people attend his execution. It is one of the most attended executions in Bucks County history. It's actually very shortly after this execution, it's decided to have no more public hangings. I think everyone realized that this was maybe not appropriate. Some accounts even say that it's mostly men and only 100 women attend his execution. It unfortunately takes a long time for him to die by strangulation, but he does eventually die. And where this bucket comes into play is that his body is brought to Philadelphia doctors who want to perform an autopsy to see if they can discover what made him a killer. If there was some biological secret that would be revealed through an autopsy, it does not. They also attempt some sort of electrotherapy to see if they could revive him in some way. Clearly someone had just read Frankenstein and thought it was worth giving it a shot. Mina is then buried, but Lucretia goes on to live a pretty long life after that. She does have children with Dr. Chapman. She takes them on the road. She becomes an actress. There's newspaper accounts of her performing in New Jersey where she performs one night and then the next night a mob shows up and burns her in effigy and she has to flee and does not do the second performance. And it is not clear exactly when or where she dies, but there are some accounts of her dying in Florida or somewhere in the Midwest, but she does have some children that remain in Bucks County after her death. So that is the story of Mina and Lucretia Chapman. it is definitely one of the most well-known true crime Bucks County stories, for sure. And that's all she wrote.